Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast. Track 1, We Got It for Cheap, intro. In parentheses, produced by the Neptunes. Flat
As is
6.
everything tonight. Oh my God, here we go. Here we go.
Hey.
The Aubrey's Angel has logged in.
It's not that. I promise you it's not that, because Pusha T was still good at this point in time. So it's not that.
So that's not your issue?
No.
Okay. 8-, Dig Me Baby. This also features Spanish Lee, or Mr. Lee.
Ugh. Hate this guy.
Oh, you hate him?
I'm not a Mr. Lee fan. I'll tell you right now, not a fan of Mr. Lee.
Okay.
Because he's the main contributor to what I call mixtape energy on this song, with his talking, in between the verses.
This is supposed to have mixtape energy, though.
Right, because we heard in the info.
Got it. Well, We Got It for Cheap is the name of the song. It's picking up basically where the mixtapes have left off.
Right, they're paying homage to the mixtape run, which I'm sure they want to do because people tuned in and held them down listening to those while John was fucking them over.
Exactly.
But, it's supposed to be it's an album quality mix for sure, but it feels like not even a mixtape intro, a mixtape outro to me. So they got what they were going for. They nailed it, unfortunately.
It's an intro to me. It's like opening statement style.
Okay. Well,
fear 'em as soon as you hear 'em. Upon my arrival.
The dope deal with Sharon. Well, there's a moment in the next song that also I feel like could have been more of an intro.
Listen, I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think Mama I'm So Sorry would have made a fine intro as well. But Here's the problem with that. This wouldn't have. In the sense of you wouldn't have been able to flip them and then have this be next in the track listing.
Right.
You kind of have to start with a little bit lower energy, I guess. Because this one, you open up before you even hear the rapping, Mr. Lee, hey, Papa, Re-Up Gang Records, that Hold That Door music, got it for cheap, Broadway Daddy, Montego Crackle, Ray. He starts speaking Spanish.
Yeah.
Uptown, baby. Clipse, hell hath no fury, B. Let him know, Daddy, Mr. Lee. Now, keep in mind, I had no idea who the fuck this guy was when I first heard this album. This was not a name I was familiar with. I don't recall Mr. Lee being on Lord Willin'. I don't recall Mr. Lee being on the mixtapes. But here he is. It's supposed to be like Pain in the Ass on Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
Or on
I like
what
it.
was it? It's supposed to, or, he's on Volume 2 as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
On the intro, it's that drug dealer shit. Right. He's like the Connect, I guess we're supposed to believe.
And Pain in the Ass is good. Mr. Lee to me is just a pain in the ass.
Wow.
It's, I know they said they were kind of going for mixtape energy this time around, and this track is that to me, but then the rest of the album isn't to me. So it just feels weird.
I think in terms of how sharp they're rhyming on this album, as compared to how they were rhyming on Lord Willin', that's the mixtape energy, not necessarily the production.
Well, what's funny? I actually disagree on this one, this track specifically. The second thing that makes it feel like a mixtape to me, other than Mr. Lee, is this beat kind of feels like loading screen music, like we're just freestyling. So it sounds like they produced this in like an empty warehouse, like that reverb. It's so empty to me. It's like that. It's also why it doesn't work as an intro to me, because I'm kind of just like sitting there like, okay, this isn't very bombastic or like attention grabbing.
No, but this album is supposed to be like, it's grimy. It's supposed to be sparse. It's not supposed to be bombastic.
Right. And I think they do that better on different tracks though. Agreed.
Yeah. Now, this isn't my favorite song on the album. That said, it's an 8- because I do like this production a lot. This organ, this. I like how on this album you get Neptunes almost playing against type.
Yeah. Yeah. This is not the sexy pop Neptunes music. This is Neptunes have been locked away in solitary confinement for a few years, and they're a
It's
little
evil
addled.
Neptunes.
Yeah, evil Hill turn Neptunes. Yeah.
And you have to think about what they're making as well. They're not producing for a pop rap group.
Right. They're not.
So for what they're going for, again, I think they achieve the not the best we're going to hear from them on here, but a good standard to start the album with. And, we do get Pusha T and Malice in, that mixtape form that we heard them on Got It For Cheap, Volume 2, in album form, though, on, like, records as opposed to other people's beats.
Right.
And Pusha T coming in with that first verse, so many verses on this album are great. This is one of them, but I have to say I look at the verse differently now than I used to. Because at the time,
of that?
Yes. So at the time, he closes his verse with within each verse you see the truths unveiled. They manufacture proof as they lie to themselves. Puppets on the string like a yo-yo, bouncing like a pogo. They pray and I never go solo. And that was supposed to be a threat. Like, if I go solo, I'm going to be the hottest rapper out. I'm going to be coming for everybody. They're praying that I stay in this group, basically.
Which is weird because it's like, now here's what's funny. I guess he annotated on the Bad website himself, and he said that was just something fly to say. It wasn't even a thought. I was never supposed to be a solo artist, ever. Never, not in a trillion years. It wasn't supposed to work like this.
I know,
but
what
it's
it
like,
was.
okay.
When did he annotate that? That's what I'm curious about.
Huh? Let me see.
Because was he there? I was there. Okay.
Let me see if they have like a like date. 7 years ago, it says. So
okay.
That would have been.
Well, let me tell you what was going on. They would do that MTV Hottest MCs list. And they put Pusha T on it, if not in 05 for off the strength of just the Got It For Cheaps, then in 06 for off the strength of those going into this album. Either way, the vibe was that Pusha T was the young, brash breakout who, if either of these guys were going to go solo, Pusha's got that energy to be able to make it work. So I don't know if he remembers this when he's annotating that, but his name was being tossed around on the list of hottest MCs, and Malice's was not.
Okay, well then that answers my question of who.
And Malice is a little older. They're not twins.
Right.
I think, what is it, 2 years difference or something like that? Either way, I think we even discuss in the Lord Willin review that we did and in the Got It For Cheap Volume 2 review, Malice is always like the steady hand, whereas Pusha is the more brash, obnoxious, kind of like, he's more unpredictable.
Right. Who's if Malice is Michael Corleone, who's the one that got shot up in the car because he was trying to run to the smoke? I forgot his fucking name. Well, look how they massacred my boy. Him, the boy that got massacred. That's Pusha T. He's ready for the war. Like, he's not gonna really be as measured. But
there was talk, though. There were people who were saying, like, Pusha's the hottest MC out right now. He's the best rapper, bar for bar. And people would say that, or they would just say Clipse or Clipse and Re-Up Gang. Nobody was really singling out Malice like that.
Okay. Well, then now I still don't know how it's like, I guess it makes sense. Because, right, if they were trying to put him on a list, I guess it's kind of fly because he was like, it's something fly. I don't know about fly, but that answers my question of who is they? They praying I never go solo. I guess the people
the other MCs, the list
along,
I would say the other MCs out there who are, potentially worried about their spot.
Right.
So who, got it. Again, like, this is the thing, like, and you even think pre-Wayne, like, he was saying some shit and people used to think, oh, he's getting it, Jay.
Yeah.
Because there's that line, and we'll talk about it. I actually like his second shorter verse better than I like his opening verse on here. Verse 3.
I'm the
I'm the
best
best since he died and he lied.
Yeah. I was saying, who lied? Who's he?
Lil Wayne.
Oh, damn.
Best rapper alive, which came out
on Carter 2.
On Carter 2 a year earlier. And best since he died, that would be Biggie.
Right.
I'm the best since he died and he lied.
The spirit of competition. Okay.
The spirit of competition. One verse could start jihad.
All right.
CP, that shit is hard. Like, he does more in his 8 bar than he does with his 16. CPR Pusha, the flow tends to revive. Pulling the covers back, I expose what you disguise. My presence felt, the pressure is on. My 411 Cuban helped us weather the storm. Pyrex and powder, it was back to the norm. Through all the adversity, the fury was born. All right, that shit's hard. But people thought at the time maybe he lied could be referring to Jay-Z on Dirt Off Your Shoulder, best rapper alive.
That's who I thought of when I first heard the line, which is why I wanted to check. Like, who is he? But
it doesn't matter who he is. Who's he?
Could be shooting at anybody.
Could be Pac. I mean, we know it's Biggie because we know how much Big's flow and how much Big's style plays into Pusha T. It's like his biggest influence, no pun intended. So I know he's talking about Biggie there. But, is he talking about Wayne? Is he talking about Jay? He's leaving it open,
Right. The Wheezy mark in me is having a hard time right now, but I'm gonna be professional. And rappers is gonna rap. The spirit of competition. So it's hard. It is.
Wayne and Pusha at this time had either one of them had a legitimate claim.
Right.
I don't agree that he lied. I thought Wayne was incredible,
Right.
But I mean, bro, at the time when Jay said best rapper alive, and it was the first album that indicated that there was a fall off coming, I didn't agree. But at one point in time, I could say Jay might have been the best alive.
All right.
So, I live for this shit. Like, I want this, I need this. I need both of these guys to prove why they're the best. That's not happening anymore. At all.
Oh, I know. We've talked about it, and it hurts me because I came in as a competitive rapper. Like, I wanted to be the best because that was, 06, 07. When I started rapping, it was like that was the thing to do. Like, you're not gonna rap to just be weak. Like, it's not being a battle MC, but just like you don't want to be weak. You want to be the best. And now, it's different. Like, we just want to make money. We're not really trying to be the best rapper. We're trying to have the best records. Which is a shame because y'all not even making the best records. So it's like the records was better when people was trying to be the best MC. So whatever. I'm an old head now. I just got to accept it, But
and by the way, you can see that Malice, his turn, which you get more of on the next album,
it's beginning
towards this like faith based content that he's gonna start rapping about. Like, it's already beginning here. I feel. You get more grounded performances from him across this album, but like on this song is a good example. I think Push is just coming in with a lot more energy on this one. It's less of an even split between the two of them, like a lot of the other records are on this album for me. Malice's verse is good. I just think Pusha in this opening song, he said some shit, to set the album off and kind of raise the stakes. I'm the best since he died and he lied. They praying that I never go solo. Like, you're kind of, poking your chest out to an extent and telling people to try you.
Right. I mean, when I heard that line too, it's kind of like, I thought the explanation when I clicked the annotation from him, he was going to say something to the effect of like, oh, this was never meant to be like, I'm better than Malice. But he never said anything like that, which was interesting because like you hear something like that. It's like, well, your man's is right there, your brother. Like, what are you saying? Like, you're better without him? Like, you want to leave? It was like a weird line, but I didn't have context. So,
yeah. Well, the context, I mean, he doesn't either, apparently, that he doesn't remember the conversation. And maybe he was, you know, he was like out on the road and he was recording and he was doing all this other shit. Maybe he wasn't privy to these combos. Maybe he wasn't as tapped in to like what people were saying about him.
Maybe this was right. Just a trailblazing of his own design.
Well, the way that, you know, I now take the line is they're praying I never go solo because this is the best you're going to get from me. And if I go solo, I mean, some people will disagree with me about Pusha T's solo output, but, you know, we've done Daytona, we did King Push Darkest Before Dawn on Rav Express. Pales in comparison to that. We Got It for Cheap, or Hell Hath No Fury, or even Lord Willin era Pusha T. Like, it's a stilted, almost self-parody. To, you know, the performance is almost to the point of self-parody, where it feels like he's just trying to emulate this specific era without any of the actual fire in his belly.
Yeah.
So they praying he never goes solo now to me is like, well, considering, you know, I haven't liked any of his solo albums up to the level I liked the stuff when he was in Clipse, I take the line differently now. That's all.
You know what's
funny? As a bad omen, actually.
Well, speaking of bad omens and taking things, when you first said, like, you see this line differently now, I thought you were going to talk about, you know, the verse tends to steer him through a life in the fast lane. I German engineered him because we fucking know about Pusha T. Now,
no, not that. I mean, that's just a car, you know, German engineering.
It is just a car, but, you know.
No, I took that last line as, you know, a bad omen for what his solo career would hold, at least for me. And the line doesn't hit as hard now because back then we didn't know what Pusha T solo would sound like. So if it would be just like this minus Malice, we'd be in good shape, you know?
Right.
But and then it'd be like, yo, look, he predicted the future. His solo shit is, I wish I could say that. I wish I could. That's why I give the record an 8-. And it's not my favorite beat on the album. I think we get way more unique sounding beats on this thing. This is definitely Neptunes with the organs and bongos, which is not 100% out of the wheelhouse of stuff they were doing at this time. There's so much on this album that sounds unlike anything else they'd ever do again, where, you know, this works. You were mentioning the sparseness as like a knock against it. I think it works for it because this is an album that's like built off of that concept, but that one line rings different for me now, and I don't know, it just puts a weird taste in my mouth now when I hear that line. Other than that, though, you know, I think this is a very strong intro. I brought in the version from the Advance that leaked, which had the Pulp Fiction audio on it. It ended with that clip from Pulp Fiction that got pulled from the actual retail version. So I have that version clip from where it differs from what you heard.
Oh, Tarantino heard that soundbite and said,
"Get out of here, you fucking bitch."
Made him take it off. Who knows? But yeah, let's play this advanced version of this record. Check it out, y'all. All right.
Hell Hath No Fury. El sueño de un jodedor tratando de localizarlo. Mr. Lee.
You read the Bible, Brett? Yes. Well, there's this passage I got memorized. Sort of fits this occasion. Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
And that goes right into Mama, I'm So Sorry. Or it did.
That clip and that scene fits this album like a glove. You know, the righteous killer, the spiritual killer. Like, you ever seen Pulp Fiction? I mean, if I had to guess, that was probably Malice's idea to include that. But damn,
I thought it was a nice touch. Yeah,
it is a nice touch.
And then the shooting going right into that boom, 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 boom. Gather round that Mama, I'm So Sorry. It's like, you know, the Mama, I'm So Sorry would hit even more after we heard those gunshots.
It makes me wonder if the critics heard the advanced version, which is why they lean so much into, like, you know, the drug dealer's conundrum of it all. It's like, yeah, they you know, selling the shit and they flexing, but they feel bad. They have a conscience. Because, like, clips like that actually feed into that, you know, but I don't know.
There's more where that came from. I have the original version of Trill from the advance, and then I have an even older version of Chinese New Year that I was telling you guys about that we'll play. Yeah, but that's all I got for this one.
Okay, well, on that note, though, I mean, I do like the line, "No serum can cure all the pain I've endured." I rock with that shit because I feel the same way. Yeah, Mr. Lee talking about, fuck these bitch ass niggas. You shouldn't be saying that, but whatever. Malice, I think he's kind of talking about that jive, you know, label hell, stuck on the shelf shit, where it's like, maybe, at least is how I interpreted it. You know, it's like trying to fly, but they clipping your wings, and that's exactly why the cage bird sings. Of course, like Bird, like drug.
Yeah, and he said, who could nickname it? The shame rings true. Seems to me reparations is overdue.
Right. You know.
I done been to the top. I done sip the juice. Now, with that being said, bird crumbs will never do.
The way he said that "do" was very like DMV though. Do. I was like, ooh, shit. But yeah. Other than that, like you were saying, like Malice, those like seeds of him kind of going a different way when he gets into that. And I don't know how them other niggas built, and I don't know if they ever feel guilt. Or maybe niggas just too high on their stilts, but this one's on me. I'm gonna view it as spilled milk. Grandma, look at me. I'm turning the other cheek. Like, it's still a you know, a slick sort of brash way to say it, but like he's thinking about these things, you know, like, you know, am I right to feel guilt about this? Is anyone else guilty about doing this shit? But like, yeah, I mean, better beat and get Mr. Lee off of here and we would have been cooking. Okay. The handcuffs are off now, daddy. Okay. Ayo. But yeah, it's a shame.
Is that what he says? I thought he always said the hecklers are old now, daddy.
like old guns?
No, the hecklers, like the people like who have been heckling you guys, like, and saying, you know, the hecklers.
Oh, they're old now?
Yeah. Because the album's taking so long to come out.
His handcuffs are off because they're not handcuffed to the label's, you know, demands anymore.
This shit came out on the label.
Right? Anyway, look. In a different, hey, that same timeline that Sean 316 was talking about, where rappers don't get shot, they get stabbed because guns are outlawed. It's the same one where Pusha T actually has a good solo career. Okay? And not what we ended up getting with good music. So
you could get one classic Pusha T solo album if you took all the highlights from everything he's released as a solo artist and made a little playlist, 12 songs, something like that.
Yo, fam, can you hone in on that German engineering line? I really like that German engineering. Fucking know about this piece of shit. Okay.
Oh,
and Jesse, if you're listening, don't call. Okay, don't fucking call.
Is that fucking Burzum Boy you're talking about there?
Yeah, Burzum Boy. That's probably why he gravitated to Push, because like lines like that, the other one that you told me about, like what do you say?
Oh my God, we'll talk about it when we get to Womp 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 Wamp Wamp or whatever it wants to call itself. We're not there yet. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, you want to move
No,
on.
there's nothing wrong with German engineering, okay?
I mean, yeah, no, all the people ain't bad. I mean, German, they got what they make.
A life in the fast lane. In German
Mercedes-Benz.
engineering, they got the Mercedes. They made the fucking gas chambers, so we don't like them.
Oh,
The
that's
Jews don't
bad
like
German
Mercedes.
engineering.
Yeah, but BMW, right? BMW.
And
Audi,
I think that's somebody else, right? The BMW.
Oh, BMW, someone else. No, BMW's German.
That's German.
Yeah.
Yeah, Munich, Germany. Didn't they make the hamburger? That's German, right? The hamburger.
Yeah.
Okay, they try to act like we did that.
The pretzel. Okay.
They had a hot wine. We made it a hot song though. You know
they had pretzel. They had
they
invented pretzel.
Auntie Anne's. Okay, you know, come on. Listen, Germany. As long as they keep acting right, then we
I don't
gotta.
know if they're acting right. I don't know what they're doing.
No, I heard they acting up again.
They're acting up, it seems, but it's not my fucking problem. All right, I got to review rap albums. That's what I'm here to do.
Yeah. Well, you want to keep going?
Yeah, but all I got to say is we got it for cheap at raprankings.com/store.
Hold on, I had to look this up. Yeah, you want to keep going? Mein Bruder? Mein Bruder is my brother in German.
Oh, okay.
Mein Bruder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Check it out, folks. Yeah.
What's LA Knight's favorite Melvin Birch song?
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. We got it for cheap. Rap Rankings merch shop right now. RapRankings.com. Merch.
Do we have an LA Knight Yeah drop, and have we tried to remix Yeah already with this, or are we?
We have not done that, but I need to get a LA Knight Yeah drop for sure.
Yeah.
Or drop. While he's
While he's still alive.
Right. Okay. You want to move on?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, it's Mel from Rap Rankings. To hear the full episode this clip comes from and all of the other episodes, check the link in the description, stop by raprankings.com, or search Rap Rankings on your favorite podcast platform. And please consider liking, subscribing, and commenting to help us grow the channel and continue our journey as hip-hop's first and premier extreme podcast.